Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
Let us move on to the what's going to be the upset of the round. The Sun Tars and the Reds. I'm happy to just call them the Horror Tars. I don't need to call them the Sun Tars, mate. But Harry, I'll let you do the pleasure of this one.
Oh, mate, this is your game. I was saving myself for Aotearoa.
Is it? All right, fine. Okay.
Or you.
All right. Well, coming back, it's amazing. None of us want to talk about the Waratahs. Coming back, we will have Angus Bell returning from an ankle injury. So, look, maybe, as we've said, he can just Artie Severe it up, put the team on those big Mr. Incredible shoulders and carry himself across the line. Nelson, how did you just wardrobe change into all of your Tars gear in those 2 seconds? That was pretty incredible. Harry's trying to do the same, but it won't have the same effect. For those who are listening to us, of course, you can find this video on YouTube. We are trying to get some more subscribers on there and push that. So if you want to see Nelson's shiny head and Harry and Nelson's wardrobe changes throughout, get after us on YouTube. So very good. You're now in the red, Harry. So we've got the Reds versus the Blues. Look, I mean, one of you could play for one of those teams. I don't think anyone's slotting into the Reds, but look, any of us might be able to find our way into the Tars if you just snuck into the change room. So anyway, the game, returning, Angus Bell, Isaiah Parisi coming back from a Reds card for his just ridiculous
against
tackle.
the old team, mind you.
Who was it? It was against Paisami. Yeah, that's right. Paisami had a good laugh and just tapped him on the head and went, "See you, champ." Now that used to be me, but it's now you. So Will Harris returning for the Tars, probably off the bench. Be nice to have him, and Dave Fio Fotuaika, the loose head prop, returning after his red card as well. I guess the Reds are going to win this one. Obviously, I mean, Look, let's start with the Reds. Do they make any changes? I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking about how poor Hamish Stewart has been. He's one, I think we talked about last week, but his 1 week of indiscretions now means that he's probably never starting in this side again, with Paisami just unbelievable at 12. I don't know. I mean, is there anything to change for the Reds? I wouldn't change a thing. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, Filippo Dungunu might come back.
Okay, sorry, I might change that. That's fairly important.
Josese, I don't think Josese was quite as damaging as what we were hoping last week, and that was probably credit to the Western Force. So I think we're a lot better than we all expected as well. But yeah, Dungunu will come straight back onto the bench. I think onto the wing. Sorry, so that'll be the one obvious one.
Yep, makes sense.
Very good. Dungunu back in, and otherwise, I think we'll see the same team roll out. We still think we've said this is the year of Alex Murphy. We'll still see him to continue to start, BPA to come on. I can't.
Look,
eventually they'll just swap it up.
It'll be interesting to see what they do there. Maybe this is the week that they make that transition against the Sun Tars. Brendan Paenga-Mosa really shored up that scrum, and he's quite a good defensive player as well. So maybe this is when he gets his crack to see if he can earn that starting jersey back. Very good, and.
So it's going to be Paisami running up against Tepai Maroa. It's not going to be that. Who's going to be
Paisami? Hunter Paisami running all over Tepai Maroa.
Well, no, it's not running all over. It's actually just this might be the one time we see Hunter Paisami take one step to the side, because we've proven that's all you have to do to run past Tepai Maroa.
I don't think it makes any difference.
No, it's fair. Tepai Maroa does not miss tackles. He doesn't get close enough to miss them. Simple as that.
That's a fair statement. So,
if you're wondering where this game's going to be won and lost, the midfield defense for the Waratahs is despicable. Like, it is arguably the worst I've ever seen. I remember a couple of years ago thinking the actual Sunwolves was really bad in that area. Tepai Maroa, inside and outside him, is just next level bad. And if Paisami's going to start running the ball rather than just hitting his cross kicks and throwing long balls and doing whatever the hell else he pleases against these sides, like he did last week, I think he could score another 2 tries. Like, Maroa is so slow laterally that if Paisami throws a dummy, he'll just run straight around the outside of him.
Do you know what I see as an option? Bring Parisi to outside centre and bring Feketi onto inside centre. He cannot be worse.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think that's legitimately a good option. That is where they've been losing games and bleeding points consistently. You know, it's breaking down opportunities for them in attack as well. Change them both.
I think you're right. I think Fekete should start this week.
Yeah, he's a talented player.
He is. I think, Drew Mitchell was saying in the commentary, just like, he was surprised that it had taken this long for Fekete to start because, Fekete to get a run this weekend,
He was
last weekend, because he hasn't been injured.
Done his homework, so that's probably why.
Yeah. Very good. So, yeah, I mean, look, the last game it does stick in our minds. The Reds won 41-7, which was a record win against the Waratahs. Can they do even better? That's the question. As we've said, they're just going to attack in that midfield, split up the Tars, and then give it to the people out wide to score tries. But I don't know. Before I ask for your tips, Tars, apart from putting in those centres, anything else they can do? I think Angus Bell coming in will be great. No other changes really that I can think of. Anyone?
I looked at this. So I think, what should the Waratahs be targeting? Number one, they should be doing rain dancing, because then that way it'll hopefully bring the score back. Don't think it's going to happen. The forecast from the weatherman is 21 degrees and cloudy. They need to be shoring up their midfield defence by bringing in Lalakai Fekete. I think they need to actually bring some physicality through their loose forwards who are meant to be physical, but are not slowing the ball down, not actually pushing people behind the game line. So that's an obvious one. And then it'll learn to stop a rolling maul. Otherwise, BPA and Alex Murphy are going to have a field day. I think the opportunity for the Waratahs, where they might actually score their 2 tries when they concede 6. First of all, somehow we haven't actually used Nwanganitawasi for a crossfield kick on the line yet. Now, we know how deadly he is in that area, and Will Harrison has an excellent kicking game as well. So that's a good one. Also, the lineout has surprisingly been very solid for the Waratahs the last few weeks, despite having 0 locks on the field, it seems. And because of that, again, I think that the Waratahs have to slow their game down and go back to the basics, much the same way as what the Rebels did. They need to kick to the corners, play the lineouts, try and put some pressure on, back Lalakai Fekete to be far better than Tepai Moeroa, and then hopefully force some mistakes. And if they get a penalty, they need Will Harrison to kick it, because he kicks absolutely everything.
100% this year.
Excellent, Harry. Thank you for bringing that home, mate. I had just run out of gusto for this game. I just didn't want to.
I think one thing he left out is Jordi Pataya is also a shambles in a lot of the time. You know, he's been talked up. Yes, I think he had his best game last week, but he is throwing offloads, going to no one. He's doing silly balls. He's dropping the ball in contact. Maybe this is where Parisi can show some actual value and get back into this Tar side and get the fans on his side, because he is a physical defender at 13. He would love to match up against Pataya. You know, he saw the 13 jerseys, what he wanted while he was at the Reds. So maybe this is where he can actually, earn that Waratahs.
I think,
just to be clear, it sounds like you'd rather have Isaiah Parisi than Jordan Pataya. Is that what you're saying? Or?
No, what I'm saying is, I think Pataya has been all over the shop this year. He got told, and my assumption is he got told not to throw those offloads, to be more mature, and then he did nothing for a number of weeks, and then he's been told, okay, you can go back to playing your game. And I think it's been good for him, but also I still think his handling things have been quite poor. His offloads have been poor.
Yeah, he throws a lot of dumb offloads and loses ball in contact. So surely it means that the outside backs for the Waratahs need to be waiting for those poor offloads to actually try and counter.
Parisi, target him. It's gonna just destroy him, I reckon.
Mate, Alex Newsom doesn't know what to look for on the rugby field, mate. Don't
take him off the rugby field.
You won't be there.
True. Very good. All right. Well, look, we've talked about this game for too long. Tips. What do we think? Harry, you first.
Reds by 40.
Nelson, more or less, higher or...
I'm going to be extremely generous to the Tars. Reds by 39.
All right, and I'll take the low liar just to bag the win. Reds by 38. So very, very good. Lots of confidence there.